Hey everybody! Don't mind my little sexy front ponytail here. My fringe is annoying me, so I'm like, let's pin it back. But I didn't have any bobby pins, so ponytail it is. Anyways, this is just a video of childhood movies that you pretty much grew up with. That's all. Nothing spectacular, nothing, oh my god. Just childhood movies. These movies I grew up with, I love them to bits. But then you think, what were they called again? And then you come across them on the internet, it's like, oh my god, I've not seen that in years, and then you rush to your laptop, and then you go and download it. But with me, it's like, oh my god, yes, download it. The next day, fuck, what was that movie called again? That's my little dilemma there. So, don't mind me. Just drinking my very sexy chamomile tea. I have a ritual. I have to have 1 cup of tea every day, and I've not had one for a week, so I'm a little bit with my tea. Anyways, to my movies. My first one. I'm currently watching it at the moment because I've just got it. Basil, the Great Mouse Detective. I love it! It is so good, it is so amazing. But that's just my opinion. These are movies I grew up with. Basil, the Great Mouse Detective is obviously a movie about mice. And this one little girl mouse, her father got taken away from her by this bat who works for a rat. But the rat is under the impression that he is a mouse. So then the little mouse girl, Olivia, goes to this detective, Basil, and wants to seek his help. But Basil at the beginning is a little bit of a dick. He's a dickhead. He's a dick detective. But then you slowly grow to love him, and then he slowly grows to cherish Olivia, and so on and so forth. So they're on a mission to find Olivia's dad, who was obviously taken by the rat. And sorry, I can't remember if I find him or not. Like I've said, I've not seen this movie in years, so it's gonna there's gonna be a lot of pauses in this movie. I apologize in advance. But yeah, Basil the Great Mouse Detective, #1. I love that movie. There are other movies, Walt Disney movies, that I love, but the one thing that I really don't like about them is that they're musicals. But I do have to say, Walt Disney songs in movies are the shit. You can sing along to any of them, even if you've not seen the movie in like 10 years, you could still sing along to it because they just get in your head like that. They're so amazing. Movie #2 is an obvious one. Everyone knows this one. If you don't, I will probably give you a cyber slap. Peter Pan. Greatest movie. I love the Walt Disney cartoon version. I don't like that other one that they made. It was just a little bit too romance based than kid based. But the cartoon one I just love. I think everyone has the same favorite character in it. If you don't, that's totally cool. You can have whatever favorite character you want. But my favorite character in Peter Pan was Nana. Love that dog to bits. I mean, if I want a dog, I want it to be just like Nana. Obedient, lovable, playful. But I wouldn't want a dad like they did. If you haven't seen Peter Pan is about a young boy who doesn't grow up. Then he comes across a girl and her two brothers, Wendy, Michael, and John, and he takes them to Neverland so they can experience his world. And they get introduced to the Lost Boys, they get introduced to Tiger Lily and her tribe, they get introduced to Hook, and then the mermaids. Oh my god, those mermaids were such bitches. Anyway, yeah, so they get introduced to everyone, and they're like, oh my god, I wish I could stay here forever. But then reality hits them, but not Peter, and it's like, sorry Peter, I gotta go, because I gotta grow up and live a happy life. And he's like, whatever, I'm gonna be a boy for the rest of my life. So, yeah, that's number 2. Number 3, I cannot for the life of me remember the storyline, but I do remember it's just like Basil the Great Mouse Detective. It's animal based, but it's got human form in it that you can see, and it's I can't remember it, but I do remember that the humans steal some precious diamond or something, and then the animals are trying to stop them to give it back. Can't remember the storyline. The movie's called The Rescuers. It's a really good movie. Animation is a little, it's a little bit iffy, but it's old. It's hand drawn. It's the old school Disney, not computerized drawing. It's hand drawing, which is, you look back in it and it's like, how did I put up with that back then? But yeah, number 3 is The Rescuers. Number 4, obviously another animal-based movie. It's The Aristocats. Not just my favorite movie because it has cats in it, but because it was something different. It was in a different country other than like America or London. I'm sorry, Americans or British people that are watching this, but pretty much every Walt Disney movie is in America or London. This one's in France, I think. Yes, the Aristocats is in France. There was a mother cat and then her three kittens, and they all get taken away by their owner's butler because their owner left the cats everything, whereas the butler thought he was going to get everything because the owner has no successor. But she's like, no, it's going to go all to my cats. And he's like, what? I must dispose of these rotten scoundrels. So he does. And then the cats all being posh and everything's like, oh no, where are we? What is going on? And then they find their own area, and then they realize that the butler did everything, so it's all happy and cheerful. Happily ever after. Yeah. Number 5 is a favourite of mine, but I wouldn't really say I grew up with it as much as my older sister or my mom. Shh. But Beauty and the Beast. I like that because it was a little bit more different to what I imagined. But the storyline is so amazing. Even if you're a child, you're still gonna have as much emotion as like a teenager or a young adult or an adult. Like when I was, how old was I? I was like 6 or 7 when I first watched that movie, and it brought me to tears, but I wasn't crying. Whereas my mum back then, she was what, in her mid-30s, and she cried, and that's my mother's favorite movie. yeah. So Beauty and the Beast. But I know you know that movie. Just don't even bother. No, I'll give you a little cliff notes. And plus, I'll leave links in the comments, just like little trailers or little snippets of the movies down in the little box below, not in the comments, down in the box below, just so you can get a feel and have a look at yourself at what these movies are like, so you can judge it yourselves. Oops. So, yeah. Beauty and the Beast is about a prince, very selfish and narcissistic prince, gets turned into this beast-like animal, and then this girl Belle comes across. I'm giving you a Cliff Notes version. Comes across his castle because her father was taken to that castle, and to free her father, she trades her life for his. So she stays in that castle, and first she's all a bit sad and depressed about it, but then she slowly grows to know everyone there, who also got changed into different objects in the castle. There's a clock, a candle, a duster, a wardrobe, a teapot, a cup, and then you've got all the kitchen that are just pots and pans and obviously the oven and all that. And yeah, so they've all like that, and Beauty and Beast, or Belle and Beast, slowly get to know one another and slowly start to grow feelings. But then at the end, Beast is pretty much on his deathbed, and with Beast, he's got a rose, and with each, whenever time passes, a petal falls off, and if that rose has no petals, I think he either stays a beast for the rest of his life. Yeah, he stays a beast for the rest of his life. But because he's dying, there's one petal left, and Belle is holding him in her arms, and she has to say 3 words so he doesn't stay a beast. She says the 3 words, he lives, they all have a happily ever after. Which is another thing I don't really like about Disney movies. They have a happy ending. Whereas most situations like that, well, most romantic situations don't really have a happy ending. That's going to be a whole new topic. So those are some of my favorites. They're 5 favorites out of countless others. So I'm going to leave links in the box below. Comment your top 5 or top 10 favorite Disney movies. I will see you guys in my next one. See ya.